Well, thank you for having us, and that's right. We are endorsed by the GOP conference chairwoman. So it's just pretty simple. The issues that are going to the polls today across the country and every day is going to be inflation, the cost of life under the Biden administration, what the disastrous border policies that we're seeing every day. It's a new horrific human rights violation down in the southern border. It's gas at $5 a gallon. That's what's motivating people to go to the polls every single primary election so far this year, and leading all the way to the general in November. I don't think anything will skew us or will deter from that, because at the end of the day, what matters is the bottom line of Americans, and these backbreaking inflationary costs are really just costing Americans everything, and in some cases, quality of life for most. So this is what the party is focused on. The message is we'll be delivering for the people, by the people, and we want to make sure that America continues to be a place where people can prosper and be successful.
Mayor Keith Peacock, your overall thoughts on your race today in Illinois?
So I agree that the issues are going to be here are inflation is going to be number one, and then crime is going to be number two. Those are the big issues. And quite frankly, I wish our gas prices were $5 a gallon, because they're $6 here. So those are going to be the issues in November. They're the issues today. And I know you mentioned in the break that you're seeing people come to the Republican Party. We've seen 26% of the early voting and mail-in voting ballots have been from Democrats in the Republican primary.
One of the things, I'll go back to Georgia if I can, we've seen, as the Associated Press reported, more than 1 million are switching to the GOP in terms of voting. And then on top of that, many of the Hispanic vote is going towards the GOP. George, talk to me about that and what that means for the Republican Party.
Well, look, this is something I talk about often. Latinos came to this country, whether you're first, second, third generation, in pursuit of freedom. And looking for opportunities that they could not find in their own native countries. My parents, great example of that. They came here from Brazil looking for a better life, and they left behind the same policies that are being peddled by the Biden administration today. So when Latinos are looking at what's going on and transpiring, it's very reminiscent of what led them to leave countries like Venezuela, Brazil, Ecuador, Cuba, and that's just the thing. And I'm proud to stand here and say I'm Latino, and I am absolutely terrifying to the Democrats, because I prove to them everything they say in that stronghold they try to have in my community is not true and not factual. I'm a proud Republican, and I'll always remain to be a proud Republican so long as the party represents the values that I believe in.
Mayor, you mentioned crime. I want to talk to you about that if I can. Orland, not too far from Chicago, a city that is experiencing record high crime in terms of violence. In fact, the headline from the Chicago Sun-Times yesterday reads this, quote, and it's become a commonplace here: five-month-old girl among 6 killed by gunfire in Chicago over the weekend, 27 other people wounded. This happens so often, it barely just gets reported and blew by here. However, that wasn't the issue Mayor Lori Lightfoot opted to address during Chicago's Pride celebration the other day. This was.
If you read Clarence Thomas' concurrence, he said, "Thank you, Clarence Thomas." Oh, Clarence Thomas! He thinks that we are going to stand idly by when they take our rights.
Again, that's Mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot. I know you're familiar with their using harsh words for Clarence Thomas in a Pride speech to thousands there in Chicago, talking about, quote unquote, taking their rights when no rights have been taken from the state of Illinois that I'm aware of on books here. Talk to me about this, Mayor.
Well, she's out of touch. She's worried about taking away rights that, as you pointed out, are not being taken away, and not focusing on the issues that she's been elected to solve, which are crime issues, and those have bled over into the suburbs. My suburb in Orland Park, we have the lowest crime we've had in 27 years because we have proactive policies that have allowed that to take place. So even in this environment, you can be successful if you work to solve the problems. She has not done that at all, and I can tell you that Chicago is a place that almost all of our residents love to go. We love the city, and we just don't go there anymore. And when we do go there, we think about where we're going, when we're going to be there, what time we're going to be there, because people just simply don't feel safe in the city, and that includes being in the loop. And that's damaging to not only the city of Chicago, but to the suburbs and to the state as a whole.
Yeah, well, a lot to get to, a lot to unpack. Final question, I want to go to George on this one. A crowded field there for Republican Party there in the congressional districts. I did want to hone in, though, a lot, as you know, a lot of the focus not only on that, but the gubernatorial race as well. You've got 4 strong Republican candidates there running, vying for the seat to essentially all but certain going to go against Governor Kathy Hochul. Is there one in particular, one candidate, George, that you back right now, and why? Are you able to share that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a pretty outspoken supporter of Congressman Lee Zeldin for this seat. He has the experience, he has the tenacity, and he's quite frankly the only one that can win a general election in a state like New York. And if we are to pick up this seat in New York, I urge everybody to vote for Lee Zeldin in this primary, because he is a true and tried leader that will deliver for all New Yorkers. And this is a once in a generation opportunity to pick up the governor's mansion here in New York. So Lee Zeldin is clearly, to me, the best pick and the best choice for New Yorkers. And I voted, and I urge everybody to come out and vote today so you don't complain, how did we end up with Kathy Hochul again? So that's where I've been laying all my efforts behind.
5 primaries today, 2 runoffs, 1 special election, though, including New York here and Illinois, whom we've had the pleasure of speaking with. The mayor of Orland Park, Illinois, and congressional candidate Keith Pecaw, and New York congressional candidate George Santos. Good to see both of you, gentlemen. Best of luck to you. We appreciate your time.